All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And before we get started on the main topic or topics of this particular video, I just want to say ahead of time that obviously we all know that tomorrow is the insider news for Season 1, which is the day before the release of Season 1 for XDefiant. And that's where we're going to be getting a lot of the meat and potatoes in terms of what we're going to be getting for Season 1, things that haven't been announced and things that are coming. And I'm pretty sure they're going to even have a few surprises here and there. But for the most part, everything that we need to know is going to finally be revealed tomorrow. But by the time everything goes up, I am going to be at work, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the timing, so to speak. So I won't be able to make a video right away, unless I'm wrong about the timing. But I didn't check before going on, but I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern time, and that just has to be the time when I am supposed to be at work. So there definitely may not be a video about the subject put out as soon as possible right then and there. It'll be after work, and then I'm going to get working on the video, and then after that I'll put it up as soon as I possibly can. So I just wanted to let you guys know ahead of time. And the other thing that I wanted to say is, as far as this gameplay, in case you guys are wondering that if my enemies are just kind of running by me as if I'm not even there, well, that's kind of partially true, because this is a suppressed, not a light suppressed, but a suppressed M16 class, and it's very, very solid. And so far, it's the only gun that I've used that is suppressed that works really, really well. I'm pretty sure that there are others that do as well, but I tried like the M4, and that wasn't very good at all. That thing was already weak sauce as it is, so I think I might just move on and try another weapon suppressed. But as far as the M16 is concerned, holy moly, it still absolutely melts people regardless. And the thing is, like, you can flank people, you can hit people from the side, and it's like they're not even there. So so don't sleep on a suppressor class. You know, try it. You'd actually be very surprised as to what you might find, and play around with it a little bit and see what kind of attachment combinations work for you. Now, let's get on to the main topic of discussion here when it comes to this. So the main topic of discussion, or should I say topics, are the netcode and the bunny hopping. Now, obviously, the netcode, we know we're going to get continuous, how do I put this? Continuous updates on the game, so to speak, right? We're going to get continuous updates to where the netcode is going to be fixed over time, right? But the thing about the netcode that I wanted to mention, that obviously a few other content creators have mentioned as well, and you know what? I give a nod to them about that, and that is that, well, the netcode itself has been a reason alone that has kept a decent amount of players away from XDefiant. Like, they tried it and then they just never touched it again, right? Despite the fact that there are so many other good things that they would probably like about the game, the fact that the netcode has some work that needs to be done on it is something that basically, like, they won't touch the game. Simple as that. No matter how good they are, or no matter how bad they are, or no matter how much in between they are, it doesn't matter. Content creator, non-content creator, whatever it is, like, they will not touch the game because of questionable netcode. Simple as that. And hopefully, I would say, you know, in Season 1, there's like a part of me that would really love to see like an update as well as a patch put out that basically says, hey, you know, we've made some additional improvements to netcode. Let us know how it feels, blah, blah, blah. Because it's something, it's not going to be like Halo Infinite, to where there's like a big patch that takes place that changes everything. That's not exactly how it's going to work. It's going to be, you know, patch after patch that's going to be continuously improving the experience. So I think by the time Season 1 is over, and again, I might be a little too optimistic about this, or a little bit too pushy about this, but I would say by the time Season 1 is over, by the time Season 2 starts, which is going to be, you know, not too long before the release of Black Ops 6, I think it's very important for the game to have that as ironed out as possible, if not completely ironed out by that time, because obviously it is something that needs to be on the top priority list. But unfortunately, fixing the desync is not an issue that is as simple as, like, let's say adding a prestige mode into the game or something like that, right? Or changing up how much your weapons level up during XP, you know what I mean? So therefore, it is more time consuming. So hopefully I would say that they have a deadline when it comes to that, like in terms of like an invisible deadline. Now, obviously, it's not really something that you can put a deadline on, but let's be real here. The sooner this gets patched up, the better, because there are so many players that, like, even for the players that are playing, they're kind of like almost like they're enjoying their experience, but they're like, man, this game would be 10 times more fun if this netcode was just fixed. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're getting their, it's almost like you're drinking a drink that you love, but it's got a bad aftertaste. You know what I mean? That's like the best analogy that I can come up with right now off the top of my head, right? So, and that aftertaste is a reason for a lot of players for them to either not drink it for too long or to like not drink it again until the company gets rid of the bad aftertaste, so to speak. So, so in my opinion, I just wanted to kind of touch base on that because I think that there is like this invisible deadline because a lot of people are just really annoyed by the desync issue or whatnot. So anyway, all right, so let's move on to the second topic of today's video, and that is the bunny hopping. Bunny hopping has to be probably one of the more controversial topics because online content creator, non-content creator, all over social media and stuff like that, comments, you name it, right? I have seen so many different players in so many different skill levels have so many different variants of opinion in terms of bunny hopping. Some people believe that the nerf that they gave the bunny hopping in terms of giving it a penalty after the fourth jump is hardly did anything at all. Other people thought that that the nerf shouldn't have been put in there in the first place and they should have an infinite amount of bunny hops. And other people believe, you know, that like in their way, like it shouldn't be in the game at all. So it's like people are like, it shouldn't exist, or it should exist all the way without limitations, or the limitations weren't good enough, so to speak. I don't know if some players, I haven't really seen too many players saying that it's okay the way it is, so to speak. The majority of people that I've seen have been on one of those three types of opinions that I just mentioned. So now, usually when it comes to this, you know, I obviously see multiple sides, but I am going to say that on this one, I'm not going to walk the line. I'm just going to give my opinion. And I think that an additional nerf should be applied to where there should be a penalty on the third jump, not the fourth, but the third. So I personally believe they need to add another layer to the nerf, so to speak, or the penalty to where it happens like once you hit that third jump. I mean, because if you think about it, if you're jumping like so many times without a penalty or whatnot, it really breaks a lot of things. It's more like, it's not just about the gunfight anymore because obviously we know there's a desync problem, which I mentioned previously, right? But there's also something else that's going on that may or may not be desync related, and that is that like if somebody's bunny hopping, you could still be on target on them, and then but yet your bullets don't register. Like you can get the hit markers and all that kind of stuff, and yet the bullets don't register. Now, granted, that also happens against players that are like not bunny hopping. That happens occasionally as well. But with bunny hopping, it just gets kind of worse. Like you could be firing at somebody that's bunny hopping and while they're in a gunfight with somebody else, and you could still like those bullets won't register, or it'll just be like it'll cause some sort of inconsistency that has nothing to do with you or your skill, so to speak. Because immediately, whether people are on COD or whether people are on XDefiant, the first thing they're going to say is, oh, skill issue. You have a problem with this? Oh, it's a skill issue. It's like, dude, no. It's like, seriously, like when you got pros themselves complaining about something, like for instance, let me just give you another example, right? I seen the best players in the world, the pros, right, complaining about SpiderBot. And yet people in the comment section that are nowhere near as good as the pros are, right? You can say anything you want in the comment section. Most of you, 99% of you, are not on the same skill level as the pros, okay? You know, you're going to say things like, oh, it's a skill issue if you hate the spider bot or whatnot. It's like, dude, even the pros are complaining about the spider bot, okay? And the same thing goes with the intel suit. Even the pros are complaining about the intel suit, okay? Even when it comes to pubs, you know, obviously they're waiting for ranked because that's their bread and butter and they can't wait for ranked to come out and they want to grind that and all that crap. Okay, great. But at the same time, you can't really deny that there's an issue that needs to be adjusted with both of those abilities, you know? I mean, fine, you can disagree and troll in the comment section all you want. That's great. I mean, you're still supporting the channel. I appreciate it, even though you may not agree with me, or even though some of you guys might talk trash to me, that's completely fine. It's the internet, man. You know, it's the internet. It is what it is, you know? You're still supporting the channel when you're doing that. So I even appreciate you guys. But when it comes to this, there definitely need to be some adjustments, just like there's need to be adjustments with the desync issue, just like there needs to be adjustments in other areas, right? So ultimately, at the end of the day, when you have so many people complaining about it, it's like, dude, not all of us have a skill issue. Some of us do. Not all of us are great players, but not all of us suck either. So it's like when you get this many different varyings of opinions between both skilled and non-skilled players, chances are there's an issue that needs an adjustment. Like there has to be some sort of an adjustment made. I'm not necessarily saying get rid of said problem completely, but all I'm saying is that there needs to be adjustments at the end of the day. And I think it's actually, you know what's really great about this, right? The really good thing about this is that whether you agree or disagree, there's a lot of discussions had about this. This is exactly what we want in a community, right? Not just to make the game better and to have discussions and make videos about it, but honestly, this is how it used to be back during the golden days of COD, if you think about it, in terms of what people agreed or disagreed with, things that they talk about in the comment section, content creators, what they'd be making from one video to another, you name it, right? It's almost like it's just like the old days, man. And that's another great thing of XDefiant. You know, we find ourselves kind of talking like we used to back in the old days, and it didn't really matter whether somebody agreed or disagreed with you, whether they talked trash or didn't talk trash. At the end of the day, we're talking about XDefiant. It's part of what's keeping the game relevant, which is exactly what we want. And come season 1, which we're literally less than 2 days away now as of the time of this recording, I for one am really looking forward to experiencing one of the things is the new maps, obviously, and some of the game modes that they're going to have coming out, even though I'm purely a TDM guy. And I'll tell you right now, if they release free for all, I will be grinding. I will abandon team deathmatch. Well, at least for a while, right? I will abandon team deathmatch and I will play free for all. Like, that's how much I love free for all. So I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but hey, it is what it is. And of course, there's, you know, been kind of whispers of a bare bones type of game mode and stuff like that. But we know we got Bomb, aka Search and Destroy, coming, and we know we have Capture the Flag coming. Search and Destroy, we don't have a release date on yet, but I believe Capture the Flag will be ready on day 1. But there's still a chance that Search and Destroy might be ready on day 1 as well, and they're just not telling us. Because remember that video I made talking about you know, the interview that I found when I was looking for stuff for my thumbnail? Well, guess what? Mark Rubin, that was recorded apparently about 3 weeks ago, or maybe that was like about three and a half weeks ago in terms of when that took place. So they may be able to squeeze out Search and Destroy in terms of you know, day 1, season 1. And don't forget, Ranked is also coming out as well. And I'm pretty sure Capture the Flag is going to be in Ranked. Well, Ranked is out right now, but in terms of like grinding up the ranks and having the, you know, their own version of ranking up and the skill set and stuff like that is going to be in there. So I think a lot of players are also going to be excited about that. And I'm excited to see how the competitive side of things roll around in terms of what the pros do and stuff like that. And when eventually we'll have some competitive tournaments, I think it's going to be really interesting to watch the pros play, because there's definitely always something to learn when it comes to that. But with that being said, I think this video ran long enough. I'm excited for season 1. I know I'm not the only one. You guys have been very vocal in terms of how you guys feel about season 1 coming up as well. And at the end of the day, the two biggest things, in my opinion, if not the biggest thing, obviously, is to keep continuously working on the netcode. Hopefully, maybe when we get season 1, the game will take another step towards full correct functionality as far as the servers are concerned. But other than that, you know, we're gonna get some content, man. We're gonna get some weapons. We're gonna get some game modes. We're gonna get the biggest thing that I want is prestige at this point. You know, I want prestige. It's a simple concept, but I would love some prestige. As of right now, I'm just playing the game as if you know, as if there was a level 1000. I don't even know if there is a cap, to be honest. And I'm a level, what level am I right now? I'm actually looking at the screen right now, but I put my controller down. What am I? I am a level 137. And obviously the higher you go, the harder it is to level up. Sometimes you'll spend an entire session of multiple hours playing, and if you're high enough, your level will not move, because it just takes that much more. So, but with that being said, guys, I want to know, are you hyped for season 1? Is there anything in particular that has not been mentioned yet that they're hoping that they will announce, or there's something that will take place? I'd really like to know down below. And of course, what is your opinion on the whole bunny hopping situation? Does it need a nerf? Does it need a buff? Or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Does it need a nerf? Does it need to go back to the way it was previously? Or is it fine the way it is right now? What are your overall thoughts on the matter? And with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.